Hey guys, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel and another homeschool day in the life video. I thought I would share it with you guys because you really seem to like the last one that I did. I'll put it in the description box for you guys. But it's just another homeschool day in the life. I'm going to be sharing with you how I made my high schoolers transcript. Just some other little homeschooling tidbits throughout the day, just kind of showing you what we're up to. If you like homeschool day in the life videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up and let's get into it. Okay, you guys, I shared our 5th grade curriculum choices a week or so ago, and I showed in that video what we're going to be doing for geography for 5th grade. But we went ahead and started it early just because my daughter had finished her history with BJU Press. And I thought, well, why not go ahead and start on geography, because it's going to take us a little while, because I actually kind of put together my own, and a couple people actually commented on the 5th grade curriculum choices video, and they were like, oh, I've been wondering what to do for geography. And I was too. Like, I really had not found a curriculum that was for geography that I just loved, and I wanted to kind of piece together my own, which is exactly what I did. And if you want to see exactly what we're using, then you can watch that 5th grade curriculum choices video. But kind of in a nutshell, some of the pages are gone because, like I said, we've already started, but I've been really having a good time with this. And I've noticed, and that's another reason why I went ahead and started geography early, is because she had a geography class in our homeschool co-op. Obviously, they canceled everything because of what's going on, but she loved it. That was like the one class that she was really interested in, was geography, and I didn't know that. So I was really wanting to kind of capitalize on that and go ahead and start geography now while I know she's still interested in it. And so it's another reason why we did decide to go ahead and start it early, even though it's not 5th grade yet, but that's okay. Kind of a combination of things I put together myself. The Evan Moore, The 7 Continents, North America, they have a workbook like this, or a PDF for every continent. So I got North America because that's what we're studying this year and next year. So that is in here as a PDF. I printed all that out. And then we went to the first kind of little bit of that book, and then we got to the part where they started talking about the regions of the United States. That's when we have stopped and are taking a good long pause from that to do a regions of the U.S. and learning the states section. So that's what we're doing here. And so that's where I added this thing that I bought from Teachers Pay Teachers. It was really, I think it was like $5, really inexpensive. And basically it teaches all of the regions of the United States. And then in each region, that's when we're studying where they are located. And that's where she's really working on that. So I'm going to show you in just a second. We started the West region first. And I just think it's easier than some of the eastern states. There's a lot of them, and some of them are really tiny. So we started on the west side of the country. And she's got a little geography notebook, and then she's got a laminated card like this. This is the one for Southwest because we just started this today. But within 4 or 5 days of doing this, with a little laminated sheet like this that came in this kit, she's already memorized all of these states in the western part of the United States. So now we're moving to Southwest. And what I did was the download that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers has a sheet like this and a sheet like this. They're 2 separate sheets. I went ahead and laminated them together. That way, if I'm not with her, she can self-check where everything is. I wrote the states in up here, even though they're written down here. So she can go ahead and be like, okay, what's this one? And then if she doesn't remember, she can look on the back, or she can do them all and then check and make sure her answers are right. So I have one of these for every region. And I got a question about, for 4th grade, we were going to do the JDA's geography curriculum from Teachers Pay Teachers. She's a YouTuber as well, and it looked like a really good curriculum, and I'm sure it is, but I didn't like it after I bought it because I realized she only teaches that there are 4 regions of the United States, and I have always been taught 5. I know there's also people that say 6, but I really didn't like the idea of 4. I felt like it lumped too many in there together and wasn't specific enough. And so maybe if you had a really, really young child, maybe start with 4, but I really wanted 5. I felt like most of the books were 5. This curriculum is 5. So I just decided to go ahead and just scrap the JDA one, even though I wasted all that money like printing it and cutting them out and laminating all the pieces. Now, one thing I will say is this Evan Moore, 7 Continents of North America, it does teach that there are 6 regions. I don't know if I've already taken that page out or not. So we just kind of skipped that part. And I just said, you know, you're going to hear differing opinions. Some people say 5, some people say 4. some people say 6. We're just going to go by 5, and that's when I started this little curriculum. So, and I put the pages in order. So like I've literally got this curriculum from Teachers Pay Teachers sandwiched in between the Evan Moore one. So anyway, that's what we're doing right now. It has been working really, really well, just every day, working through the states. So there's one of those. And then also the t-shirt project. I'm going to show you an example of the ones that she made so far. But just making a t-shirt. This is a free printable I found online too. A t-shirt, you can do one for every state. We're just going to pick 1 or 2 states from each region that she thinks is interesting, and she can design a t-shirt for those states. And here's some examples. I'm not going to grade necessarily on these, but this particular resource, they do give you examples of things you can ask for. And then after we finish that, then the Evan Moore book picks back up, talking about the cities of the United States. And then it talks about Mexico, and I did mention that before in another video, was I really like this curriculum or this workbook because, and it's not just about the countries, it's also about the culture. So Central America, I want to get to some of the culture things, even talking about rainforests, the Grand Canyon, and the Caribbean, capital cities of North America. I just felt like this was a really, really thorough curriculum, super simple and inexpensive. And I did get the PDF because I'm going to be using it for more than one child, but you could just get the workbook if you wanted. But this is just a perfect time to go through. And as you get to things about like the Panama Canal, you know, find some YouTube videos or make a craft. When we get to talking about North American culture, I thought that's going to be really fun. So tourist attractions and major religions, Statue of Liberty, Chichen Itza, which if you don't know, that is actually the Mexico Pavilion's landmark in Epcot. That's what the Mexico like section of Epcot is in Chichen Itza. So that's something we've talked about before. We can definitely talk about it again. Different tourist attractions, totem poles. So of course it would be a good time to make a craft. And I know for the one for Mexico, we're going to be talking about the Day of the Dead. So we will be watching Coco with that, even though they've already seen it. Of course, we've got Independence Day, and there's a map test at the end. So I just think this has been a really thorough curriculum that I've kind of put together. And just want to encourage you guys that you can do that. You can definitely piece together a curriculum that you think is going to work for you and your kids. If you can't find one that's already made, make it yourself. And so far, we've been having a really good time with this, and she is loving it, and I really am too. So goodness knows I need to brush up on some of my geography. I'm really bad about some of these western states. So I've been learning right along with her, things that I have forgotten. So I wanted to show that to you guys, kind of let you know we did go ahead and start this early. It's been working out really well, and I will link everything for you if you want to kind of piece together what I did. This is just a free printable or a free thing from Dollar Tree, but everything else you can find online. I'll link it for you, and I thought you guys might want to see it. And then I was going to have her pick one t-shirt to make for a state in the region we did, which was the, what did we do? The West. But she wanted to do 2, so she did one for California and one for Hawaii. I thought this one was really cute because the little quail, I guess he's the state bird, according to this, the California, or the quail. And it says the capital of California is Sacramento, and then she did the flag, and then this one she did the capital of Hawaii is Honolulu. The Hawaiian monk seal, and then the flag and the population. So those are the 2 shirts that she made for this region. And now today we're going to start the Southwest region. So I also wanted to show you guys how I made my high schooler's transcript. I got a lot of questions about that, mostly over the last year or so when I've been talking more about what we're doing for her for high school and kind of and our plans for her for college. A lot of you guys told me you didn't have a clue how to make a transcript, and I really didn't either. And I'm sure there are some out there that look way better than this, but this seems to be working. It's what I've already submitted to a couple of different colleges, and she's already been accepted to 2 different colleges for dual enrollment. So as far as I know, this is sufficient. It's all you're going to need. And obviously I took out all of her information because I want to keep her information private. But up here at the top, I had her name, address, all the personal information. So her date of birth, the address, the phone number, my name, my husband's name, anything like that, just relating to her personal information, I just filled in right here at the top. And then, of course, these dates and years obviously pertain to her. Freshman year was 2018, 2019. Her sophomore year is this current year, so 2019, 2020. And then we have junior year and senior year. And one way that I started to really frame this up is to look at lots of different examples online. You can find tons of different examples online of what really needs to be included in a transcript and kind of the layout, but then you can also personalize it and make it the way that you want. And that's kind of what I did here. I wrote down the main things I knew we needed to have. So of course we needed to have the year, the course, the grade that she gets in each course, the credit for each course, and then you're going to want to total everything up at the bottom of each year. So total credits and then the GPA for that year. So then I also asked admissions officers, like when the first college I applied for her, I was like, can you take a look at the transcript and let me know if everything looks complete? And from the ones that we've applied for, the schools we've applied for, nobody asked for anything additional. So that was nice. Keeping good records is really key all throughout the time that your child is in school, whether you keep grades in elementary school or not. But I think it's definitely a good idea to start at least in middle school to get an idea of how to keep grades and how to keep records. And then that way, by the time you hit high school, you've got, you've kind of got it figured out as far as how to keep grades, how to keep records. And so then the more records you keep, the easier it's going to be able to generate something like this. You're going to have records for everything. You're not going to have to go back and figure out, what did she get in Algebra 1 in freshman year? What did they get in history in sophomore year? You're going to have those records kept somewhere else. It's better to have too much information than not enough. It also might be important, depending on where your child's going to be going to school, to also keep track of any volunteer work, any jobs they have, any rewards they've received, any community service they've done, anything like that they've done that may look good on not necessarily a transcript, but any type of college application. You're going to want to also keep that somewhere else, just so you have the record. You may think you're going to remember the year that they served at, the Salvation Army, but you may not. Or you may think you're going to remember the name of their director when they volunteered for, Goodwill or wherever. You may not remember that. You may not remember the date or the person or whatever. So it's always a good idea just to keep those records as you go along. That way, when you have to generate something like an application or a transcript, then you already have that information. So that's pretty much what I did. Just every year has a spot for the course, the grade, the credit, the total credits, the year GPA for each year. Down here, I will have her date graduated whenever she graduates. Here, we would just have where it would say, we, my husband, and my name, do hereby certify and affirm this is the official transcript for, and then her name, and the academic studies of, and then this is her high school term. And then I would sign it, and then he would sign it. So that's pretty much it. It doesn't really need to be overcomplicated. And from, like I said, this is just my personal experience, but from what I have learned from admissions officers so far, this has been sufficient, at least at this point. So even if they want things later on down the road, if you keep this in a spreadsheet, it's going to be easy to add things and take things away as you go along. But you've got to start somewhere. This is really basic and really simple, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I have gotten a lot of questions about it. And for me too, thinking about making a transcript has been really overwhelming. I really didn't have a clue how to do it, and that's why it was really helpful in the beginning just to look at a lot of different examples online to get an idea of what an acceptable transcript is. And you can also pay if you want to pay. There are certain services that you can pay, and they will generate a transcript for you. But again, you're going to have to keep those records really well so that you can give them the information that they need to generate a transcript, which all goes back to making sure that you're keeping good records along the way. So I hope this was helpful and gave you guys kind of an insight into what we're doing, what's worked for us so far. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it was a little bit strange for a day in the life because so much of it was me showing you the transcript, but I have gotten a lot of questions about it and I did want to share it. So I hope it was helpful. Make sure if it was and you enjoyed it, you give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys are doing. If you are doing geography this year or next year, are you making up your own curriculum kind of like I did? Or do you like to buy something kind of already made up and use that? And the same thing for the transcript. If you have a high schooler, have you already made a transcript or are you overwhelmed by the thought of it? Let me know in the comments kind of what you guys are up to. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure if you're not subscribed that you go ahead and do that as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.